What's up, YouTube? Mr. Llama SC here, and we just finished our Hemorrhage Necro Hell speedrun, and so I'm going to kind of review the character a little bit, give my thoughts on it, talk a little bit about the items I was using, the skills, all of that stuff, and then, yeah, we'll just go forward from there. So I figure, because this is a new skill, this is Path of Diablo, so this is a mod of Diablo 2. If you don't know what the mod is, pathofdiablo.com, the wiki will explain some stuff right there. But there is a new skill, and it's called Hemorrhage, and it curses a group of enemies, causing bleed damage, which nobody is immune to. It also ignores curse overrides and immunities, which there's the immunity parts, so you can also throw a second curse while you do the first curse, right? So you can hemorrhage and decrepify or whatever else it is. I thought I paused that.
By the way, I have 31,300 llama spit saved up.
Yeah. Well, we'll get back to that in a second. So it has a 7.3 yard radius, which is pretty decent. It doesn't seem to hit all of the time, which is a little bit like annoying. Sometimes you like cast it on top of a group, and that might just be like server lag and stuff, but it feels like it's gonna like cast on a whole group and then like only half of it gets hit, and so it's kind of weird. It just does, like I said, a life drain per second, and it's very weak at like level 1 and 2, and then when you get to like 3, 4, and you kind of go from there, then it starts to get better. The synergies, Life Tap, Weaken, and Iron Maiden, I feel like is a really bad, and I dislike this completely. Right now, you're just using this, you're dumping 80 skill points into Hemorrhage and all of its synergies, and all that you get out of it is Hemorrhage, right? You're not getting any other synergies that you're really going to use. All you do is you run up and you get a group of stuff, and you just cast it on top of that group, and you just run around until that group blows up. So it just doesn't feel great, in my opinion. I think there needs to be two different options of how you can do this. One, take away the trash synergies, Life Tap, Weaken. Like, who's using those? Take those away, especially in this build. Take those away, and instead make it just like a 20 skill point normal thing without synergies, or synergies in the summon tree. And so you use it with like summoning. So you can cast summons, and then you can also cast Hemorrhage to do some dot on top of it. I think that's one thing that you could do, making a support skill there. If you want to keep it a damage skill, I think you need to throw in, this is basically Contagion a little bit, right, from Path of Exile. And so you would want to throw in like Wither and like Essence Drain as well, right? So it gives you that, and then those would be the synergies. And so you're playing this whole curse style build, but like you're running, you're throwing down your Hemorrhage, and then you're like casting an Essence Drain or whatever to spread it. You're using Wither when a group comes up close to you to slow the enemies, to do big damage in a small AoE in front of you. I think an Essence Drain style Necro would be really fun. And this is like the one piece of it, but it needs something else, because it's pure raw damage, but you get no CC whatsoever, right? And so you just have no control. You don't get anything like, you can say, yeah, Mr. Llama, but you have like Fissure or you have Blizzard, and that's the same idea. But like, one, those have cooldowns. Two, those have stun of some sort, right? If they take damage from it, they're going to like hit and get stunned and put into hit recovery. Or they're going to get frozen from the blizzard and slowed. So there's like some crowd control and some stuff with that. With this, you just run around, you cast it on them, and then like, oh, they're going to die in 6 seconds. You have to just run around for 6 seconds while they're dying, praying that they don't come and hit you. So obviously, like, you can also cast Decrepify then or something on them, which is what I've been doing. But then you're having to cast 2 things, and sometimes, you know, if they're extra fast in whatever groups, it's just like not a great scenario. There's still not a great, like, I don't know. It's missing a good CC piece to it. And that could even be the slow from Wither or the spread from Essence. I don't know. There needs to be some other thing. Make Decrepify a synergy. That would be cool. Yeah, there needs to be something else to it to really help it. right now it just feels mediocre in that state. So I also put a point into Blood Golem. Blood Golem is very strong, 2400 life here in hell, so he's really helpful. And then you also get the life gain back, which is really nice. Convocation, obviously, for teleporting. And then, like, Summon Mastery for that. I have some points in Skelly Warrior because I started the game with them. They were a big waste. I don't really know what you should do up to level 6. That's the other problem. What do you do up until level 6? I don't know. It feels like all of the points that you put in are going to be wasted because nothing will add a synergy to it. And then, you know, like, I just don't know. I'm not really sure what the answer is right there. You could maybe do just melee until 6. You could use the one starting skeleton. You could go teeth, but then, like, you get to level 6 and now your teeth are worthless as well. So, yeah, I guess you leech from your team. But as a solo character, doesn't really work great for that. I do think he plays better in, like, a team situation because then that you have people and stuff in front of you, and then you're just able... They kind of act as your summons, and then you're just able to, like, mass damage with Hemorrhage. But still feels a little boring in that way. So, overall, I think it's a okay starting skill, like, for the first time being introduced to the game. But I think that there needs to be a shift, especially in the synergies, and maybe a couple more skills added or make it more of a support. Something needs to change on it a little bit because right now it played okay, obviously. I mean, we ran faster than the world record Necro time, including getting to level 69 and leveling and stuff. So it moves quickly, but it also was kind of boring and could have used a little more stuff. So, yeah. And then for stats, just enough strength, just enough dex, vitality. For gear, I used a spirit, a lore, a stealth, resistances on these, life belt, Sanders, and then some 20 cold reds and rhyme. So pretty standard gear, I would say. Except instead of a white wand, we used a spirit sword. But yeah, that was my first thoughts on the Hemorrhage Necromancer new skill. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace, YouTube. Catch you guys later.
A gift